Hello students, welcome to TSAT channel. Here in this episode, we will discuss about model paper related to this particular competitive exam. Here I gave you different types of questions and different patterns related to competitive exam. So let us discuss some questions in this episode. Let us begin the show. Here the first question is very general question, what you will observe in our routine life. See, the question is like this: occasionally during swallowing food, coughing starts due to disturbed movement of. Here, especially in our throat region, the special structure is there called epiglottis. This epiglottis prevents the water and food entry to the trachea. Actually, food and water should pass through the esophagus. Okay, so when we are swallowing food or we are drinking water, at the time sometimes unfortunately the water or food may try to enter into the trachea. So that's why this epiglottis, if it is not properly closed, so it will try to remove that. So that's why this type of movement which is reason for coughing. So according to that particular question, the answer is epiglottis. Okay, let us go to next question. The admission of HIV infected child in a school should be along with the. So nowadays AIDS is a social problem where we are observing some children which are born to the AIDS parents. So generally the child who is suffering from HIV, he wants to go to school. At that time, what you have to observe here? Let us see the options. He has to be admitted as normal child, or you go with the second option, should not be along with other normal children, should be admitted in special school, should not be admitted in the schools at all. So among these four conditions, what the condition you are going to opt? Yes, we should opt the first option. Why? Because if he is suffering from HIV, by touching, by sitting together, by eating together, sharing the utensils, the HIV is not going to spread. So that's why we should not maintain social distance related to HIV. That's why we should admit the students along with our. So that's why we should not show any partiality related to that. So for this question, which one is exactly correct answer? The first option. Okay, dear students, let us go with the next question. Root part is represented in mature embryo related to plants. Related to plants, root part represented in mature embryo. A seed is growing. So if you observe the growing seed, so at the time of development, root part is represented. So let us go with that one. You know, primary stem, that will develops into stem. Radicle develops into root. What is chalaza? Generally chalaza, it is a opposite to micropyle opening nucleus attached to the integument. So it is exactly opposite to the nucleus part. So that's why you should not take chalaza. And what are cotyledons? When the seed is growing, first leaves appear in germinating seeds. So that's why according to the question, your answer will be radicle, because the radicle part which is very important for root part represented. Okay. Next question. In diseases like polio, the cells that get destroyed by the virus are. Yes, nowadays the enormous awareness which is given by our government, and everybody is taking polio vaccine in the form of drops. Our government is providing infrastructure and also the health workers who are taking more care. So almost it is eradicated from India due to huge vaccination programs. Okay, dear students, if the person who is suffering from polio What type of symptoms you are generally observing? Paralysis condition generally we can observe in polio, means he can sense, he can receive the stimulation, but his limbs, maybe legs or hands, he cannot move. Why? Because motor nerves are not working. Why? Because the polio virus which is entered into the particular patient, motor neurons area in the spinal cord, especially ventral roots, are damaged. That's why his limbs are going to get paralyzed permanently. Okay, so according to the question, the answer is motor neurons. Okay, number of ova released at a time in female human being is, yes, in a woman there is a pair of ovaries. So these pair of ovaries, one is left side and another one is right side, you can observe, but during the menstruation, if you observe a menstrual cycle, one side ovum is very active during one menses. Next menses, another ovum will be activated. So like that, among the both ovaries, alternately we can observe the ovulation. Okay, suppose one time left side ovary is active, next month right side ovary will be active. Like that, throughout the menstrual cycle, if you observe, in the middle of the menstruation, that is 14th day, you can observe the ovulation. Okay, so each time one ovary is going to release one ovum, even though the woman is with one pair of ovaries, but actually she can ovulate only one ovum. Okay, so the answer is 1. That is answer D. Next, sixth question. Nissal's granules occurs in. You know, my dear students, if you observe the neuron structure, generally here in this neuron structure, you see here, this is, everybody knows this is the neuron. So generally, where you can observe Nissal's granules? In the dendrites, that is the afferent processes, and also in the cyton or in the pericardion, you can observe Nissal's granules. You cannot observe Nissal's granules in axon. Okay, my dear students. So presence of Nissal's granules is unique character of neuron. What is the use of Nissal's granules? Generally, Nissal's granules consist ribonucleoproteins, which are very important for the synthesis of neurotransmitter. Okay, so that's why where you can find Nissal's granules? In neuron. In the neuron, where the Nissal's granules are present? In the dendrites and also in the cyton, not in the axon. Okay, my dear students, what is the use of Nissal's granules? Synthesis of neurotransmitter. Okay, so the answer is, according to the given options, you are observing the options over there, our choice is C. Next question. Which of the following is released during photosynthesis? Okay, my dear students, plants are autotrophs. Okay, what is autotrophism? Generally, food is synthesized with the help of sunlight, right, by using the environmental carbon dioxide and the minerals and water which is absorbed through the roots. All together, plants can synthesize their own food materials. These food which is synthesized by the process of photosynthesis releases the waste materials like water, oxygen. Whatever the plants which are released oxygen as the end product, that is useful for us in our respiration. Okay. So, what you can observe, the end products of photosynthesis, that is oxygen and water. So, here the answer is oxygen. Let us go with next question. When breastfeeding is replaced by less nutritive food, low in protein and calories, the infants below the age of 1 year likely to suffer from. Dear students, it is nutritional deficiency disorder question. Nutritional deficiency disorder question is given here. You know, there are two types of disorders you observed related to deficiency, that is Kwashiorkor and marasmus. Kwashiorkor disease comes because of deficiency of proteins. Generally we can notice after 1 year age. But marasmus disease, which generally noticed below the 1 year age child, because the mother milk is replaced by low calories and low protein diet, maybe because of poverty, or the mother is pregnant for the second time and mother is not taking care of the child. Because of these particular conditions, the disorder which is going to observe in the child who is less than 1 year age, the disease is marasmus. Okay. The remaining options, if you see, pellagra is related to vitamin B deficiency, rickets vitamin D deficiency, Kwashiorkor only protein deficiency. Related to the question, here the proteins and calories both are deficient. So, that is why our answer is marasmus. In which of the following life process is energy liberated? In which of the following life process the energy is liberated? Generally, metabolism is an activity where the life is going on with metabolic processes. There are two types of metabolic processes. One is anabolism. Anabolism constructs the body, stores energy, that is digestion. If you eat well, you will grow well. The energy is stored in your body, that is anabolism. Photosynthesis, digestion, these are all anabolic processes. But another important process is there called catabolism, where in the catabolism the energy is liberated, combustion of food materials in the cell cytoplasm with the help of mitochondria. Okay? So, the food whatever is there in the cells, that is like glucose, amino acids, fatty acids, these are destructed by the process called catabolism, which releases energy. Aerobic respiration generally releases 36 ATPs, you know very well. So, here according to the question, respiration is the mechanism which is very important to liberate energy. By utilizing oxygen, it releases more ATPs, like 36 ATPs. Without oxygen, anaerobic respiration, which releases only 2 ATPs. Okay? So, here the question related answer is respiration, which liberates energy. The answer is C. Let us go to the next question. Hemoglobin of blood carries. Yes, Hemoglobin is called respiratory pigment. Hemoglobin is called respiratory pigment. Why? Because hemoglobin is very much useful for transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide between the lungs and tissues. Here in the lungs, oxygen is loaded, carbon dioxide is unloaded. At the same time, here in the tissues, oxygen is unloaded and carbon dioxide is loaded. So, my dear students, according to this question, hemoglobin will be helpful for transportation of both oxygen and also carbon dioxide. So, the answer is D. Okay? Let us go to next question. The blood vessels that brings oxygenated blood to the heart is, okay, you know where the oxygen is loaded, my dear friends? Oxygen is loaded in the lungs. Okay? These loaded oxygen transported towards the heart, especially in the heart, which is coming towards left atrium. Okay? From the lungs to left atrium it will come. Why? Lungs where plenty of oxygen is available. So, that is why, observe the question once again. The blood vessels that brings oxygenated blood to the heart means whatever the blood vessel which is coming from lungs to heart, it has more amount of oxygenated blood. That is pulmonary vein. What is the correct answer? Pulmonary vein which carries oxygenated blood to the heart. So, the answer is pulmonary vein. What about others? Pulmonary artery deoxygenated blood from heart to lungs. So, that is why A is not the correct answer. What about B? Postcaval vein. Postcaval vein actually collects deoxygenated from the lower parts of the body to the heart. So, that is why that is not the correct answer. Coronary vein, deoxygenated blood from the heart. So, that is why whatever the A, B, C options you are reading, these three options in that particular blood vessels, deoxygenated blood is present. So, that is why our answer is 4, that is pulmonary vein, okay, where you can observe oxygenated blood which is coming from lungs to heart. Next question. In the case of emergency, when we do not know the blood group of the recipient, we can give the dash blood group to the patient. Observe one of the emergency condition here we are noticing. Dear students, your friend met with an accident, immediately he needs blood. You do not know what is his blood group. Okay? So, what type of blood group is transfused by the doctors immediately to that friend? Yes, the answer is O blood group. Dear students, O blood group is called universal donor. We can donate the blood in emergency to any person. Why? Why O group, sir? Yes, because O group on the RBC, there is no antigens. That is why it is called O, 0. There is no antigens on the surface of RBC in O group blood person. That is why O group is called universal donor group. We can donate to anyone in emergency. So, the answer is third one according to the question. Okay. Next, the total number of pairs of peripheral nerves in man. What are called peripheral nerves? The nerves which are coming from brain are called cranial nerves. There are 12 pairs in human being. The nerves which are coming from spinal cord, they are 31 pairs. So like that, here cranial nerves and spinal nerves together, that called peripheral nerves, the answer is 43. Presence of glucose and ketone bodies in the urine indicative of. Presence of glucose and ketone bodies in urine. Why glucose is coming in urine? Observe this carefully. Suppose due to the deficiency of insulin in a patient, due to the deficiency or absence of insulin, his blood glucose level rises. Once the blood glucose is more, automatically kidneys will filter that blood and eliminates the excess glucose. That's why in the diabetes patients who is suffering from diabetes mellitus, they will lose their blood glucose through urine. And fat also, they will become weak and their fat also dissolves. The extracted product of fat is ketone. So that's why in the diabetes mellitus patient's urine, you can observe glucoseuria, ketonuria, that is glucose in urine, ketone bodies in urine. Okay? So our answer related to the question is 4. Let us go to next question. What type of propagation is preferred for the ornamental and horticultural plants? Generally, for house decoration or garden decorations, okay, so the persons who are very much interested towards these particular acts, variety of plants which increases the beauty of the house and office, and some plants are used for security purpose to keep the boundaries, etc. Where the ornament and horticultural plants are cultivated plenty in the numbers. So generally by cutting the stems, if you cut the stem and plant it, it will grow. So like that, vegetative propagation play very important role. Why? Because you should not wait for the seeds. Maybe the seeds are produced seasonally or annually. That's why cutting the branches and developing in the tissue cultures and also in the ground, that is vegetative propagation generally used. The answer is C. Question number 16 here, 15 completed. Most essential floral organs required for sexual reproduction. Plant related question. Most essential floral organs. What are the most important organs in the flowers, which are called male reproductive organs and female reproductive organs? As you know, it's a very easy question. Gynoecium, female reproductive organ. Androecium is a male reproductive organ, which you can observe in flowers. They may be unisexual or may be bisexuals, but here the structures which are related to female are called gynoecium, male are called androecium. And not only that, you can observe the calyx and corolla, but they are not the reproductive structures. Calyx is also named as sepals, corolla also named as petals. Okay? So the answer which is going with that, gynoecium and androecium are the sexual reproductive related parts in a flower. So answer is D. Next question. The skill which is needed to take right decision. Generally, this question is related to your mental ability and also related to our brain. You know, our brain is called thinking tank, which is very much responsible for taking decisions. So, what type of decision do you make perfect and exactly correct? If you observe everything, can you take the perfect decision? If you communicate, can you take the perfect decision? If you think over for such a long time, can you take perfect decision? Negotiation, if you discuss more, no. Communication is very important. So, dear students, if you communicate well, if you take the information thoroughly, if you give it properly, if everything is perfectly coordinated, because of that communication, you are going to take the perfect decision. Okay? So, that is why according to this question, the answer is B. Match the following, choose the correct option. See, these are all the column 1 related is nervous system related, neuron related. Matching now we are going to do. See, Nissal's granules, where you can find Nissal's granules? Generally you can observe Nissal's granules, they are granular bodies, you can observe in dendrites and also cyton. So, 1B, 1 is matched with B. Let us see the 2, synaptic knobs. Synaptic knobs are bulb like structures where you can find axon terminals. So, 2 matched with A. Nodes of Ranvier. You know that nodes of Ranvier's, the gaps between the adjacent myelin sheaths, where the myelin sheath is absent and throughout the length of axon, that gaps are called nodes of Ranvier's. So, gaps between myelin sheaths. So, 3D. Unmyelinated nerve fibers. Generally, unmyelinated nerve fibers usually we can observe in the post-gangliated neurons of autonomous nervous system, that is sympathetic and parasympathetic nerves. Generally in that neural system comes under autonomous nervous system. So, that is 4C. So, 1B, 2A, 3D, 4C. That is answer, correct matched answer is 4. Human beings and other mammals can chew the food and breathe the air simultaneously because of the air. See, my dear students, you observe this diagram carefully. You see, here in this picture, this is the passage of air and this is the passage of food. So, let us see here in this question, you observe my thumb, here I am putting like this. Why? Because this is the nasal route, this is food route. The air is going on the flyover, that is called palate. Palate is a bridge which is separating the nasal chamber and food buccal chamber. You see, this is buccal chamber, this is nasal chamber, both are separated by a bridge called palate. That is why even we are chewing, we can breathe. So, that is why taking food and taking on exchange of gases are possible because of the structure which is specially developed in the mammals. Okay? So, the answer for this question is palate. The correct answer is palate, which is separating the nasal cavity and buccal cavity. Okay? The answer is 3. Next question. The energy released by 1 gram of carbohydrate. The energy released by 1 gram of carbohydrate. Yes, 1 gram of carbohydrate generally gives 4 kilocalories of energy. Okay, my dear students, 1 gram of carbohydrate, 1 gram of carbohydrate can give 4 kilocalories. Not only 1 gram of carbohydrates, even 1 gram of protein also gives 4 kilocalories of energy. Okay, what is that? 1 gram of carbohydrates produce 4 kilocalories. Even proteins also same. 1 gram of fat, here I am writing fat 1 gram gives 9 kilocalories. Okay. So, this is the equation you have to remember. 1 gram carbohydrate 4 kilocalories, 1 gram protein 4 kilocalories, 1 gram fat 9 kilocalories. So, fats can liberate more amount of energy when comparing with carbohydrates and proteins. So, here what is the question? The energy which is related by carbohydrates. Only they asked about carbohydrates, okay, definitely my answer is 4. But you have to know what about the proteins, what about the fats. That is why I wrote related to the different food substances and their energies. Let us go to next question. Vitamin abundantly present in papaya fruit. Papaya fruit లో ఎక్కువగా ఉండే విటమిన్ ఏది? Yes, papaya is angel of fruits. Why? Because which consists almost all the varieties of vitamins. It has vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin B, etc. along with minerals. But the question is abundantly present in. Which vitamin is more? The answer is C. Next to C, vitamin A is also present. Okay, my dear students, vitamin C is abundant. Next to vitamin C, vitamin A. So, here our answer is C because he is asked about abundant. Okay, abundant means more. Next question. Conjugation is a type of. What is conjugation? What is the definition for conjugation? Conjugation is exchange of pronuclei between two sessile individuals, especially ciliate protozoans. Okay, like paramecium, verticella. In these unicellulate ciliate animals, they will come together and they can exchange their pronuclei. Here, genetic material from one individual to another individual related to different parental groups. That is why genetic recombinations you can observe here in conjugation. So, that is why conjugation is a type of sexual reproduction. So, the answer is sexual reproduction. Okay, dear students. Next question. Biologically complete proteins, okay, are the proteins whatever completely present in which type of food? You see, potato consists glucose, starch. That is why potato is removed from first option. Apple, egg, wheat. Here in wheat also you can expect carbohydrates. So, that is why that is removed. Paddy, meat, butter. Paddy, that is rice. Rice is the source of carbohydrates. So, that is why that is removed. Let us go to the fourth option. Meat, milk, egg. Yes, my dear students, here meat, milk, egg which are full of proteins when comparing with carbohydrates and fats. So, that is why our answer is D. Let us go to next question. The parts of flower which are still useful after fertilization. As you know, after fertilization that is going to become fruit. Okay. So, here related to the question, the parts of flower which are still useful even after fertilization? That is, the answer is ovule. The answer is ovule. Okay. Generally, androecium, zygote which are not useful, synergids also pollen nucleus which are very much helpful for fertilization process. So, related to the question here, ovules are very much useful even after fertilization. Next, 13 chambered heart. One of the interesting question here. Generally, in an invertebrate, if you observe the cockroach, you see this picture here, this is the cockroach outline. Here you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 like that, 13 chambered heart, tubular heart, one chamber is associated with another like this, you see here you are observing. So, extremely mid-dorsally a tubular heart with 13 chambers you can observe in cockroach. Okay, my dear students. So, according to the question, the correct answer is cockroach, which consists 13 chambered heart exactly in the mid-dorsal line. Which organ is called graveyard of red blood cells? Yes, my dear students, usually RBC will survive for 120 days. Lifetime of RBC is 120 days. RBC, they cannot divide further. They are going to die. Where they are going to die? That is in spleen. Spleen filters the blood and traps these old worn out RBCs. They are going to die in the spleen. That is why spleen is called graveyard of RBC. Okay. Answer is 1. Next, water loss from plants is prevented by which hormone? Water loss from the plants is prevented by which hormone? Most important question, my dear students. I am putting star for this. Generally in the dehydrated conditions or in the extreme summers, so during that particular season, underground water completely reduced. Plants and roots, they may not get proper water. The seeds also, they may not get water. So, that is why here gibberellins, they are useful for elongation of stem. So, that is why gibberellin is not the answer. Next, cytokines. Cytokines are very much helpful for development of roots and shoots, like auxins they will work. So, that is why cytokinins is also not the correct answer. Indole 3 acetic acid. Generally, indole 3 acetic acid is almost works like auxins which are helpful for the growth of roots and shoots. So, that is why A, B, C, all the 3 options are irrelevant to the question. So, abscisic acid very important, which encourages seed dormancy, and also this abscisic acid closes the stomata in the plant leaves. That is why water loss is prevented. Stomata in the leaves are closed. Seeds are undergoing dormancy, extremely unfavorable conditions like summers. So, that is why our answer is abscisic acid related to that particular question. Okay? In which precise area meiosis takes place? Stamen. Actually, its stamen is not related to meiosis. Actually, mitosis takes place here. What is meiosis, my dear friends? Meiosis, where the diploid number of chromosomes becomes haploid. The chromosome numbers are exactly reduced to half to produce gametes. Here stamen is not related to this meiosis process, and anther, that is also not related to the option. Pollen mother cell. Mother cell must undergo meiosis, then only it can produce pollen grains. So the question is, in which cell you can observe the meiosis? You can observe the meiosis in pollen mother cells, because these pollen mother cells undergo meiosis and finally produces pollen grains. Okay. Next question. Presence of gills in tadpole of frog indicates that. My dear friends, frog develops in water. For the reproduction and the larval development, water is essential. Without water, frogs cannot able to reproduce and generate the next. So that's why there is a need of water. Why? Because frogs tadpole larva which breathe through gills. Why? Because this is the character which is repeating the ancestry, where the amphibians are evolved from fishes. That's why the ancestor characters are represented by tadpole larva, which can breathe with gills compulsory in water. Okay. So these type of character indicates the evolution of amphibians, which indicates the fishes are the ancestors of amphibians. So that's why this tadpole larva is behaving like the ancestor. Okay. So that's why related to, you read all the options related to that, frogs evolved from gill breathing ancestors, that is nothing but fishes. So that's why our answer is 4. Which of the following cells is round and biconcave in shape? Dear students, let us observe this biconcave shape and round shape. Generally you can observe in RBC, red blood cell. Why it is biconcave, sir? Because this biconcave shape which increases the surface area of gases exchange. That's why, my dear students, biconcave shape provides more surface area. Okay. So here the answer is RBC. The biconcave shape you can observe in RBC, especially in the all mammals except llamas and camels. Okay. The answer is RBC. In the plants, exchange of gases takes place in. Yes, my dear students, generally plants also you can observe the exchange of gases. The answer is directly, you can choose the answer, stomata. The ability of a plant cell, to give rise to a whole plant is called. Minute part of a tissue, any part of the body you can take, we can germinate the entire plant. That is possible in plants. In human beings or in animals, this type of culture is not possible. Why? Because in tissue culture you may observe the thallus which is used, and the tissues which are used, they can germinate plenty of plants, because they consist a specially developed meristematic tissue which can give the entire plant. Okay. If you take a small branch, keep it under this nutrient rich soil or the nutritive medium in the laboratory, that will grow entirely. Leaves, roots, stem, everything you can observe from that tiny particle or tiny piece. Okay, dear students, this is called totipotency. What is totipotency? The cells which are not differentiated, that's why they can able to divide and differentiate into any other type of cell, any part of the body. So, like that the entire organism, entire plant is created. The ability is called totipotency. Maximum respiration takes place in the presence of. Yes, my dear students, enzymatic action play very important role. Generally in our body, 37 degrees centigrades is our body temperature, where our all the enzymes will efficiently work with maximum result. So that's why optimum temperature where the enzymes are effectively working. Even the respiration process also more effective and maximum effort of enzymes you can observe, that is optimum temperature. So maximum respiration takes place at the presence of optimum temperature. That optimum temperature to human being is 37 degree centigrades. Photophosphorylation occurs in. Okay, my dear friends, what is photophosphorylation? Actually, here in the photophosphorylation, ADP is converted into ATP. What is that? ADP is converted into ATP in the photosynthesis with the help of sunlight. With the help of sunlight during photosynthesis, ADP converted into ATP. This conversion is called photophosphorylation. Photo means light. Phosphorylation means conversion of ADP to ATP. This is going to happen in chloroplast. Okay, my dear students, because chloroplast is very important for photosynthesis. That's why our answer is C. Conversion of glucose to pyruvic acid yields net gain of. Conversion of glucose into pyruvic acid. Generally in anaerobic respiration you can observe this, yields net gain of. Actually during this process 4 ATPs are produced, but among the 4 ATPs 2 are consumed, only 2 left out. So that's why the question is net gain. Observe the question. How many produced? 4, but 2 are consumed, only 2 left out. So that's why how many ATPs are gained? 2 ATPs. So our answer is first option. Okay, students. So like that, here another, who observed the chlorophyll in plant cells is not spread throughout the entire cell. Chlorophyll is restricted to particular organelle. Chlorophyll is not present entirely in the cytoplasm of a cell. This idea is given by Julius von Schaas. Okay, dear students. So he gave that idea. So that's why question related answer is 1. But what about others? Okay, Pelletier and Caventou, what they discovered? They discovered chlorophyll. What Daniel Arnon discovered? Photosynthesis process. What the discovery done by Robert Hill? According to Robert Hill, with the presence of light, water molecule will break. H2O will break into H plus and OH minus. So this is called Hill reaction. So my dear students, Julius von Schaas described that chlorophyll is not present entirely in the cytoplasm. Next, Pelletier and Caventou discovered that is restricted to chlorophyll, that is present only in the chloroplast. Daniel Arnon explained that photosynthesis process. Robert Hill given Hill reaction, that is breaking of water molecule with the help of light. So, I hope you got very good clarity in this session. I will come with another session and we will discuss one more model paper. Okay.